happy to welcome you in a new session in AI Coffee Break series. So I'll just start. Today we are pleased to host Simon Bell, Vice President of Business Development and Partnership at Tomax. Simon will introduce Tomax's assessment platform, which enhances teaching and learning. His presentation will highlight the role of AI in secure proctoring, intelligent question generation, rubric creation, and feedback. He will demonstrate how these tools are designed to improve educators, streamline processes, ensure consistency, and free up time for meaningful student engagement. And again, it's a new session in AI Coffee Break that we show different tools that have AI power for education. So Simon.
Thank you, Anna. First of all, good morning or good afternoon, everybody, wherever you are in the world. We appreciate this opportunity to demonstrate not our entire digital assessment platform, but we will focus on its AI capabilities. So just a brief introduction regarding Tomax. We're an international digital assessment provider. We've been developing digital assessment tools for education sector and government for 21 years. We have a full suite of digital assessment tools which make up our end-to-end digital assessment platform that can be used to enhance and deliver the creation, conduct, security and grading of exams, formative assessment and diagnostic assessments. Those tools can all be segmented into various modules and used as standalone solutions as well. We work with institutions worldwide. Some of the larger institutions that we work with, Arden University in the United Kingdom, one of the fastest online growing universities in the UK. We work with the Technion in Israel and in China, and also the Open University. So it's some extremely large projects in terms of scalability for digital solutions. Our digital solutions can support various delivery modes. They can support digital, fully online exams. They can also support paper-based traditional assessments and grading of those, and also a blended model if that's appropriate for institutions. We've recently been nominated for our project with Arden University in the UK for 2 international awards in 2025. We've been shortlisted for the finals for Best International Software Development and also the Best Summative Assessment Award. On the call with us today, we also have Toma Cohen. Toma is one of the founders, has seen the organization grow over the last 21 years and is also our chief executive. So Toma, thank you for joining us. I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
No, thank you, Simon, and I welcome all of you, and really thanks for your time. I'm quite sure that it will be extremely interesting in terms of the AI capabilities of Tomax and how would it actually affect your industry. So, Simon, please go. You can.
Brilliant, thank you. So certainly not going to do death by PowerPoint. I think the best thing is to share screen and open our platform up and walk you through some of the AI capabilities. Certainly we won't be able to walk through the full end-to-end suite of assessment tools today. A full demonstration of all of its capabilities can take in excess of an hour and a half. So we will focus primarily on AI question generation, AI rubrics and grading, and then also just a short piece on our AI supported proctoring tools that are available. Okay, so if you could let me know when you can see my screen.
You can,
yeah. And just in case the bandwidth's not great, I'm just going to stop my video while I'm sharing screen. And if you could let me know when you can see the Tomax login page.
Yes,
please.
Perfect, Simon. That's good.
Thank you. Okay, so we're it's an online digital assessment solution, which can be used as a standalone tool, or it can be fully integrated into university systems.
Is it possible to speak slowlier?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So It's a fully online digital assessment tool that can be used as a standalone solution. It can also be integrated fully to university LMS and student records and management systems. So I'm just going to log in to the platform and I'm going to join as an admin role. So as mentioned, I'm not going to walk through all of the features and the capabilities, or we'd be here for the rest of the morning or afternoon. But what you see here is the main landing page of an administrator. This page is customized to the institution. So the workflows and the departments, job roles that you see on the left-hand side, these are all scoped and then customized to the institution before the tool is rolled out. So under the instructor create phase, you can see here that I've already created an exam. I manually entered this exam. However, this can be fully automated through APIs with the university's record systems. I'm going to lock this exam in. I'm going to select create exam, which takes me into the content creation and the editing window. You can see here that I've added a brief introduction. On the right-hand side, we have our options to add import questions. Under the import questions function, here at the bottom, you will see that we have AI questions. We select AI questions. We then have various options. You can see here we have create questions from existing content. We have create questions from scratch, which is coming soon, and enhance existing questions, which can be used to improve and expand on current question bank. So if I select from existing content and next, you can see here that I have the option to add text. So for the purpose of the demonstration, I'm going to take some guidance here on mergers and acquisitions in software due diligence. But this could be taken from your syllabus or any material that you use within your course.
Simon, could you enlarge your screen just a bit, please?
Is that better?
Yeah, perfect. Thanks.
Brilliant. Okay, so we can see here that I've added the content from the mergers and acquisitions software due diligence checklist. We can add multiple layers of content and text from our syllabus. Once we've added the text, we can select next. We've then got various options to select the number of questions, question type, the difficulty level, and the language. So here, if we choose our output, we ask the system to create 3 open, medium difficulty level questions in English, 3 closed, medium difficulty level questions in English,
So is that the difficulty of the language in English or the content?
the content.
Can you adjust it for the difficulty in language if you're using English as a second language?
Not currently. And with the question generation, so we're going to have a slight problem. Tom, I don't know if your end, whether you could ask Gal just to quickly update that, and I'll jump back in. The feature, with it being in trial in beta version, has 10 question limitation per exam. I've used those up. I'll see if I can go in and create a new one. Apologies. It should let me if I add new exam. So if you just bear with me. So this is a manual process that you see here. As I mentioned, this can also be automated. So if we just go through that phase again, Because this is a new exam, I've got to select the exam mode, the exam type, and the language. Because we're on this screen, I may as well explain. Here, if we were creating a new exam, we would have various options to build from scratch, which is the process that you've just seen, and I'll jump back into to use the AI questions, to upload a Word file where the system will automatically detect open, closed questions, correct answers, image files, and it will create the content for you, and also the option to import from the question bank. Okay, brilliant. So we can see here that I've added the text. Click on next. We're presented with the set outputs options again. We can see that I've now got 10 credits left because it's restricted to 10 questions per exam under the beta version. So we add our output. Click next. It just takes a few moments. And we can see quite quickly that the system has created 3 open questions that we asked for. Sorry, 6 open questions. And if we now want some closed multiple choice, the system will create those from the content, as easy as that. On the left-hand side, we can see here within an exam that has mixed content, this indication, this symbol, indicates that the content was created by the AI. We then have the options, if we wish to edit these questions, to edit them using all of the normal features within the platform. So here we can change things such as the answer input, add the ability to use whiteboard and online scan. And for the MCQs, we can change the correct answer, add voice recordings, and edit the content once that's been created. So in terms of enhancing capabilities and streamlining academic workflow and time, the system and the AI capabilities from question generation is exceptional. So before I jump into the AI grading, does anybody have any questions that they'd like to ask on that? Toma, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, thank you. Thank you.
I mean, I'm kind of curious because I made a multiple choice exam last semester on my own, just by putting my material into the system and saying, make me, you know, a multiple choice test and give me some distractor answers. How's this kind of different?
So obviously with AI language models out there, it's possible to access those ourselves. Lots of organizations are using those to streamline content creation. I think the benefit here is that it's drawn into the system. So we're not having to use an external tool, then copy and transfer those and edit those in the LMS, let's say. It just means that you're in one tool, you set your exam content, you ask the system to generate it, and within a matter of minutes, if we're happy with this content, we can then select to move on to the next stage in the exam, which would be adding the security settings, which we're not going to do as part of this demonstration, and the exam is ready to go.
Right. I think, like, for example, is it possible for students just to copy the question and put it onto the you know, and get the answer?
So as part of our delivery and exam tools, it's a fully locked down kiosk. So the student would have a software application on their device or on the institutional device that would entirely lock down the machine. So that would prevent them being able to exit the system, copy and paste into another tool. We also have AI-based proctoring tools if you choose to use the proctoring, which can detect if a student has a second device. So a student picks up a mobile phone, that will then flag that in the system as an integrity event. But in terms of that individual device that the student's working on, when the kiosk mode is initiated, it is impossible to exit from that.
Okay, that's interesting.
Does it also have a reading aloud feature?
It does, yes. So for all questions, we can add our own voice recordings if we wish. Just showing the MCQs there, we can add a recording to answers to the questions. But within the student application, there is also an inbuilt text-to-speech reader. Obviously, for integrity reasons, we can allow standard screen readers, but then the student may be able to bypass the lockdown kiosk. So we've actually built our own text-to-speech reader, which is available within the platform while the device is fully locked down.
Where is it? Can you show us?
The screen reader.
Yeah.
What I'll do is when I've done the AI grading and we jump into the proctoring tools, I'll see if there is a student exam that's live that I can jump in and show you if that's okay.
I have a question. There was one question that asked for the student to design something. Questions that require them to produce rather than to, I can't think of the English word now, but to actually produce something new. How do you put that into a multiple choice format?
So this one here, the one that asks, so this is an open.
Yes, that one.
So this would be an open question rather than MCQ. So we can see here that the system has generated a series of questions, some that are open questions.
Okay.
Some that are multiple choice.
Thank you.
Yeah, and on these ones, we would be able to set various limits. So we can choose to add a word limitation. We can set a hard limit or a soft limit for that input. So within the student system, MCQs obviously would just be interactive with the 4 preset answers for them to choose from, and open questions would have a text box submission that acts like any word processing document that allows the student to complete their response with very similar tools to what you can see here that are available to academics, your standard word processing tools. So any more questions, or everybody happy for me to jump into the AI grading? Okay, so at the top here, we can see the option. This is where we switch between the different modules within the Tomax platform. But for the purpose of the AI demonstration, we're going to select Toma Grade, which is our grading module. Here we see a dashboard. On the left-hand side for this academic, we see a list of the courses that they have outstanding to grade. If we select Ancient Greek Mythology, across the top, we have various options. We have a dashboard which summarizes the grading process for this exam and its current status with various different options. We have a list of the participants and the notebooks that are required for grading with various parameters and statistics. We can see a breakdown of the exam structure, which can be edited by the grading team if they've got permissions. So we can change the level of points or the correct answers if that's wrong. We then have a rubric section, comments bank, as you would expect within any normal grading tools, attachments, staff comments, and reports for the full grade book. But for the purpose of this exam, I'm going to quickly jump into participants just so you can see the content for this exam. So on the left-hand side, we have navigation tools. So at the top, we can see that there are 5 multiple choice questions. We then have 5 open questions with relatively short student responses, which we've used just for the purpose of the demonstration. So I'm going to come out of that and go to the rubric section. So here we can see we've got options for rubrics. We can start from scratch. We can upload templates, and we can import our own rubrics from files such as CSV. Now, in the bottom right-hand corner, we can see we have AI rubric. So here we select Let's Start, choose our level, use the advanced settings to allocate parameters such as the criteria, the performance levels, and the language. We can see here that the system is now working to generate rubrics relevant to the material in this exam. I'll just give this a couple of minutes. Okay, so we can see that it's generated the rubrics for questions 7 and 10, and it's still working on the others. Just give it a minute on question 6. Okay, and it's created them in Hebrew, so I can't read them. I must have selected the wrong language.
Can you enlarge it a bit, please?
Yep. Okay, would preference be for me to recreate those in English?
It's in Greek, not in Hebrew.
Greek?
Yeah.
Is it?
Mhm.
Right, bear with me.
What about open-ended questions? Can it also assess?
Correct, yes. So it creates rubrics for the open-ended questions.
Does it provide feedback for students or just a numerical grade?
Feedback and a numerical grade.
Mm.
And apologies, pulling it through in Greek, something to do with the system settings. Tomer, are you aware of
By
how...
the way, yeah, I'm here. By the way, regarding the feedback is not only a general one, it's also per participant, like per student, individual. So this is something that really unique in the field of AI feedback, actually AI grading.
So you
can
see,
split it, Simon, actually. It's fine.
what I'll do is I'll come out of that and go into the engineering exam that I've already got rubrics created for.
Great.
So you can see the process there. Apologies,
Mm-hmm.
my fault. I've got the system settings
Mm-hmm.
wrong there. So you can see here that quite quickly the system has created the rubrics that we asked for, the criteria levels with the various rubric titles. But as I say, I'll just jump out of there so we can see in English. So if we go to the engineering exam, these are the same rubrics that were created by the system. Here we have the option to edit these rubrics, edit the weight from the question. So the system has supported us to develop this content, but actually the academic still has full control over the material which has been created. We can also add additional manual items and rubric items and import additional elements. So does anybody have any questions on the rubric creation?
I was just thinking about assessing the open-ended. How reliable is the assessment of the AI?
So we've done quite extensive testing, and I'm going to jump into a student script and show you in a second how the system would go through and select that. We've done rigorous testing, not just on our own, but with institutions that use the system. And early indications are that it's highly accurate when it comes to the open-ended questions.
And it's like the teacher, educator actually is still part of the cycle. Yeah, he's not like you know, he's got the second kind of the second eye, you know, on the grading process. It's not a fully automation. The idea is to help him like with the 80% kind of Pareto.
Yeah, I think as Thomas says, the important piece is allowing the academic to always edit the material that the system generates. So whether that's through question generation, through rubric design or grading, it is a tool that's there to support and enhance efficiency, not to take over the grading process. So just so you can see the process of this, allocating a grade, I'm going to do this, although in Greek, and then again, I'll jump back into the engineering one. As you can see there on the right-hand side, the rubrics that the system created, even at this stage, when we're in a student script marking, we have the option to jump back in and edit these. But if I select AI grading, the system will ask me if I want to check this script through the manual array using the scoring annotation bar, which is this bar that we see here. But in this instance, we want to use the grading rubrics. We can then choose whether we want to apply this just to this script or whether we want to apply it to all scripts and notebooks in this exam. Here, we choose the grading strictness, the student level, whether we want to mark all questions or just question 6 here.
Simon, can I ask a question?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Strictness, you're saying like if you're strict, so it's like all or nothing, or you're going to be less strict, you give more partial points?
Correct. So we can see here, we've asked the system to generate that. On the right-hand side, we can see the level and the grade that was applied. And on the left-hand side, we can see the feedback. As with all AI elements of the platform, this can be edited before we confirm the grade and apply. But just so it's easy for everybody to see, I want to go back into the engineering one, which is in English. Okay, we can see here a student script which has been fully graded for the open-ended questions by the AI. This has been confirmed and submitted, so I can't edit these any further. But for each question on the right-hand side, we can see the rubric element that was selected and the feedback that was applied, which will be available to the student as a comment on the PDF that's fed back to the student record system or the LMS.
What about paper exams which have been scanned and uploaded onto Tomax? Does AI have this ability to decipher handwriting and provide feedback accordingly?
Not currently, but it's something that we're working on. Obviously, the system is quite unique in itself that we support paper-based and digital exams, whereas a lot of platforms or solutions that are out there do either one or the other. So we would like to have the AI tools available across that full suite as well. But that's something that we're working on, having launched the AI features for the digital exams.
Yeah, I think you know, when you speak about scanning papers, you get into the field of OCR and ICR in terms of the handwritten. And the ICR, it really depends on languages and depends on you know also the field, like the you know what the lecture is teaching. So it's interesting area. Difficult one in terms of marking and erasing and highlighting, you know, things like that. But it's something that we're dealing with since we came from the scanning process. Like we first established from the scanning exams, so we quite familiar with processes like OCR, ICR, OMR in terms of multiple choice and things like that. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Thomas. Any more questions on AI rubrics or grading before I jump briefly into our AI proctoring tools, which won't take us too long, but will give us some time for further questions.
And it also, in the future, will it be possible to assess speech or oral presentation or something like that?
Yes,
that one,
in the near future, actually.
I was going to say, I'll let Toma ask that one because that's something that I'd like to see, and I've been pestering him for the product roadmap. So Toma.
Yeah, I think in the near future, like all the area of assessing the student, the assessment during the exam, during the semester, not the final one, not the summative, the formative. Part of the idea is to have presentation and podcast and some other fields that we are touching regarding video and audio. It's kind of a new type of question that we're creating currently. I think maybe in the next sprint we will be able to develop it, to deliver. Sorry. Good question, actually.
It just supports my case, so thank you very much. So just really quickly, something that I didn't touch on. We can see here that within the dashboard of the participants, for the administrators or the academic themselves when they come back in, we can see here under the graded by that these are being graded by academic and AI. And if it was purely AI or purely academic, it would just be the relevant symbol marked next to each of those. Okay. So within the platform, a tool that we've had available for a much longer time, I'm going to open up Invigilator Monitor. Just check that we've got the right exam. Okay. I'm just checking that we have enough time. Yeah, so I'll give a really quick overview of the tools that we see here. And then focus primarily on the AI-assisted proctoring tool. But what you see here is what we call Exam Monitor. These are tools that are available to administrators and invigilators who may be monitoring online remote exams where students are in the lockdown kiosk or being proctored. Across the top, we have various tabs. We have our participant tab where we can see details related to all candidates. But we won't have sufficient time to go into all of those. We have the messages tab where academics and technical support teams or invigilators can message directly with students, and students can open tickets during the exam. We have our proctoring tab here, very similar to a Zoom call. We would see the student cameras, and if we've selected to view their screen as well, when the screen's being recorded, we would see that live. We have the verifications tab, where a student is required to capture a picture of themselves, their ID, and then submit that for ID verification. There is an AI-assisted tool which will give you an indication of the likeness between the student and the ID provided, and you can also set that to activate before an exam, so you don't have to sit and identify all students before the exams start. So the AI will let them in, and then you can review those that have a low score post-exam. And we have a preview of the exam content itself. As I said, we could spend half an hour going through all of the features of the exam monitor, but for the purpose of the demonstration, we're focusing on the AI tools, one of which is the verification, and one of which is the AI proctoring assistant. So here we can see, if I scroll along, student 20, they've completed and submitted their exam, and they've been allocated a low integrity score. So this is our colleague Gal, who very kindly sat this exam for us. If I open this, we can see here that we have the camera recording that was set to record Gal while she sat the exam. If there was a second screen recording that we'd switch on, that would also be shown. And the AI monitors the environment for sound and movement and video throughout the duration of the exam, and live all the way through the exam. So invigilators can use this as a support or indicating tool, and after the exam as a review tool. We can see here various events that the AI has detected. So if I just play this, I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear the sound through Zoom or not. But Gal has picked up a phone. The system has detected that the phone was picked up. It's also sensed that there was a dual display. If we move a little bit further on in the recording, I can see here that Gal is looking to the left and right. So the system detects this and flags this as an event. There are various other smart detections. So if we allow students to have a toilet break during the exam and a different student returns, it will detect that there is a difference in the face, and it will flag that to invigilators. It will also detect if there are multiple people in the room, multiple voices, and various other academic integrity events. Does anybody have any questions on the AI proctoring tools?
The question is whether you can fail a student based on this information.
What do you mean, like by fail? Like
No, the
it's
exam.
integrate actually. Sorry.
The exam. I mean, if you can fail the exam, the specific exam.
Yeah.
So what we find is that's then down to each institution's internal academic integrity policies, and I think it's always important as you roll out such tools and projects to obviously to review that as a broad committee. So just using the Arden University project that we've just been awarded best international, shortlisted for best international implementation award. That was rolled out alongside various awarding bodies in the United Kingdom, such as the ACCA and CIMA, who obviously have very stringent requirements. It was agreed with the awarding bodies and internally at the institution what would constitute an integrity event. That was then made very clear to students. There was also issues taken into account around digital poverty and bandwidth and connections, and other methods put in place to support those students. I'm just thinking of some funny examples that we've had. There was a student joined an exam for ACCA and was asked to open the curtains because the room was too dark to see them. And he actually said to the invigilator, "I'm sorry, I can't because my brother's asleep in bed next to me." Obviously, in terms of the student guidance, it was very clear that that was an integrity event, and the student was asked to exit the exam, and I believe he was allowed to resit. But it's those type of events that you've just got to communicate very clearly to students that when you're doing a remote home-based exam, the conditions are as strict as an in-person invigilated exam. So in an exam hall, you wouldn't be able to sit and smoke all the way through an exam. So similarly, if you sat in an environment at home doing an exam, you shouldn't be sat smoking. We've had students singing all the way through an exam, and what Arden have had to do, because it's on a global scale, is make sure that that student guidance is very clear that this is, yes, it's at home, but it is exam conditions. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
I'm just conscious of time. Does anybody else have any further questions? Like I said, it's very difficult in 45 minutes to go into all of the tools, and by all means, we'd be more than happy to schedule a full end-to-end demonstration or a focused demonstration on any particular tools if anybody was interested afterwards.
Great.
Thank you. Any questions, maybe? Maybe you can explain just about the integration with Moodle a little bit?
Absolutely. So the system can be used entirely as an end-to-end platform where everything is done within the platform, the grading, and then the grades are pushed back to Moodle. That's done through an API, so scheduling grades, PDFs that the student then receives the mark on. That's fully automated. You can do it manually if you want to through CSV uploads and so on. There are options to integrate various elements of the tools directly to Moodle as well. So we have plugins for Moodle. If you want to use just the proctoring tools, we have a proctoring plugin, which it's almost 15 minutes kind of plug and play really to run. You download it, plug it into Moodle. You would then create your quiz in the Moodle environment, as you do now. But then when the student launches that Moodle quiz, it would launch the Tomax application, the lockdown kiosk that we spoke about earlier, on their device. And what they would see is a wrapped iframe of the Moodle environment. So they would feel as though they were interacting with a quiz or an exam in Moodle, but they're locked down, and those unique tools are being used. Similarly, for the grading, there's a grading plugin. So if you want to continue using Moodle but use the grading features from the platform, there's a plugin. We do recommend the end-to-end solution with APIs, though. The same with any software. If you try to overlay two different pieces of software from different providers, there are always going to be teething issues and complications. So because we develop all of our own lockdown kiosk, the end-to-end solution, you get a much more streamlined experience if you use it as an end-to-end platform. But there are institutions using both.
Okay, great. Ellie?
Yeah, just maybe to add that we have a long experience collaboration with Tomax in different aspects, and we are using that in different higher education institute in Israel. So, so maybe if because of these kinds of group that we have people from all over Europe, and it's a small group but different institute, we will try to continue this collaboration and see how to integrate maybe Tomax in some project that we are involved with, and to see how can we bring more collaboration around this. We have some other partners, so in general we can maybe have a combination of these kinds of use, from the Israeli aspect and from the European aspects.
We would absolutely support that. So we see institutions sometimes wanting to work as a kind of an informal consortium, let's say. So not an official kind of procurement organization, but grouping together to develop some sort of proof of concept, and then actually coming together to purchase or use a system collectively.
Yeah, and I think some of the partners will be in Meital conference in a few months, 2.5 months, and Tomax, we believe, will be there as well. Yeah. And the Israeli partner and other partner can see some example or some presentation related to Tomax solutions. So
if anybody would like like I say, a focus demonstration or full end-to-end demonstration, then by all means, reach out. If you could provide them with our contact details, Ali, that would be a pleasure to do so. And obviously, I'm based in Europe. I'm actually sat in Paris now, starting a vacation after this demo. So if Toma needs to send me elsewhere in Europe, I'd be quite happy to visit campuses.
Thank you, Simon. It was extremely interesting, hopefully for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I find it interesting for you, for your business, for your institute. And as Simon said, exactly, like we'll be happy to give you some more details to help you like streamline the assessment processes in your institute. It's actually what we believe in and what we are doing, what we focus on.
Thank you, Toma.
Eli, thank you very much. Anat, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.